Hello, and welcome to Chinese Folktales. This is Beibei. Today, I'll share with you a tragic legend that has been told in China for over 2,000 years. It's called Lady Mengjiang Weeping Over the Great Wall. The Great Wall and the pyramids might be called wonders of the world, but I've always thought of them with mixed feelings. Who can count the lives that were sacrificed to make them possible? Today's story must have been the story of countless families. Life in the ancient times couldn't have been that easy, but things would be especially bad when a ruthless ruler was on the throne. One of the worst forms of forced labor in the ancient times in China was building the Great Wall. Starting in the Zhou dynasty and all the way till the Ming dynasty, construction of the Great Wall took over 2,000 years. That was also over 2,000 years of forced manual labor that took the lives of countless young men. The despair of countless families gave life to the story of Lady Mengjiang. Legend has it that during the Qin dynasty, which was about 2,200 years ago, there was a family with the last name of Meng. There was an old man and his wife. The couple had no children. One spring, they planted a bottle gourd seed and watered it carefully every day. The plant grew and grew, climbed over the fence and into the neighbor's yard. The neighbors had the last name of Jiang. A gourd grew on the vines in the Jiang family's yard, and it grew to an unusual size. What to do with this gourd? Did it belong to the Meng family, who planted the seed, or the Jiang family? The two families decided to plug the gourd and cut it in half. When they split it open, though, guess what they saw inside? A baby, chubby and fair, a beautiful little baby girl. The old childless couple was thrilled. They brought the baby home and named their daughter Mengjiang, combining the two last names. The little girl grew into a beautiful young lady, and people called her Lady Mengjiang. She was soon to be married to a handsome young man named Fan Xilang. But no one in the village was in the mood for celebration. Everyone was deeply worried. This was because Qin Shi Huang, the first emperor of Qin, was recruiting young men to build the Great Wall. Every day, there were news of young men being taken away, and nothing was ever heard of them again. The Meng family was terrified, but what could they do? Finally, they decided that the couple should get married and then run into the mountains for a while. But only 3 days after the wedding, before they could run away, soldiers came and took the young groom away. Lady Mengjiang waited day after day, hoping for a message of some sort, but everyone else knew that she was hoping in vain. Autumn passed and winter came. The days got really cold. Lady Mengjiang had finished making some warm clothing for her husband. She was so worried that her husband had been taken away with only some thin jackets on him. Was he freezing? Did he have warm blankets? One day, she decided that she would go look for her husband and bring him some warm clothing at least. She knew that the Great Wall was to the north, so she kept walking in that direction. She climbed many mountains and crossed countless rivers, asking for directions and begging for food along the way. Finally, she arrived at the foot of one segment of the Great Wall. What she saw was such a miserable sight. All over the place, there were men who were nothing but skins and bones. They carried huge rocks up onto the mountains, their backs whipped by yelling overseers with leather whips. Besides the crackling of the whips, sounds of moaning, wailing, and weeping filled the air. Where was her husband? She asked one man after another, and they barely had the energy to shake their heads. Finally, she met someone from her hometown who knew her husband. Where was he? The man could only say, with tears in his eyes, "You're too late. He died last month, along with many others. They were buried right under the wall." Lady Mengjiang felt her head spin, and her world went dark. The days that she had waited and the distance that she had crossed, all the grief and anger that she felt turned into tears, and she cried and cried for 3 days and 3 nights, till the ground under the Great Wall started to shake. And as if melted by her tears, a section of the Great Wall crumbled and collapsed. When clouds of dust had cleared, piles of white bones were revealed. The bones of Lady Jiang's husband and of many other young men. Lady Mengjiang finally saw her loved one, and without hesitating, she jumped in and was finally reunited with her husband. This tragic story lived on for over 2,000 years, as if to remind us to never forget that wonders like the Great Wall and the pyramids were made not just with rocks, but also with blood and bones of nameless souls. The story was also a reflection of the hopelessness of the common people back in those dark days, when wars and other ambitions of the rulers could take lives and break families. The story of Lady Mengjiang was from northern China, where the Great Wall was built across the northern borders to fend off invaders. In our coming episode, I will tell a lighter story of the West Lake in a beautiful city in southern China. So hope to see you then, and bye for now. This is a China Plus podcast. Special thanks go out to Sanlian Zhongdu for their help in creating the content for this show. If you like the podcast, please give us a rating and be sure to subscribe wherever you listen. If you've got any questions or feedback, please feel free to contact us via email at podcast@cri.com.cn or find us on Twitter, China Plus Pods.